Guys, welcome to the Superdorf Show, brought to you by Ship Your Reptiles. That's some crazy lighting. And as you guys might have been able to tell either from the thumbnail or maybe the title, we are going to be diving into the web's most searched reticulated python questions. But before we do that, we should introduce our host. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Garrett Hartle. Yeah. Garrett Hartle, yeah!
I always feel like I should run in and scream. And
you should, yeah, run
and cheer when you introduce me like that, Jeremy.
You know what? We should
feel too important.
We should get a live studio audience. That'll help you get, bring you back down to earth a little bit.
We have had a live studio audience. We have a beautiful. You guys can't see it, but there's a leather chair and a nice 3-person wide leather couch. We have done such things as try prosciutto and cantaloupe live, courtesy of Jody and Abby.
Yeah.
We have had Richard Schubert here before, talking about his green tree pythons. Of course, there's always Melissa Thompson. Anytime Melissa Thompson is on this show, we get double the number of viewers right away.
We should have her on every episode then, right?
We should.
That would only make sense.
I think we should get on here, just so that the chat is a little quieter.
Yeah.
Susie from Ship Your Reptiles.
We should.
By the way, these episodes and this Superdorf show is brought to you by Ship Your Reptiles. They are the reason, they're the reason why reptiles can be shipped so easily and responsibly. They are the OGs. When you ship your reptiles, you really want to ship with the best. We have a pretty fun episode coming up about that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
I'm excited about that. I don't know how much you want to give away right now.
You could give a little away.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited about the whole storytelling of, the whole storytelling factor of this is how the shipment actually happens.
We're basically launching a mini investigation into what it's like to be a reptile during the shipping process, right?
Yeah.
So we've got contributions from different people, and I don't know. It should be fun. It's not gonna be like a 60 minutes thing or anything like that, but it should be pretty cool for, I think, a lot of people, especially people that are unfamiliar with shipping reptiles, to see what it's like from their perspective. So pretty cool. But yeah, if you guys are ever wondering, please, goodness, especially if you're going to ship your first reptile, you got to call Ship Your Reptiles and let them know. You can even let them know we sent you. They can give you a discount code if you use, what's our affiliate code? I think it's just Reach Out.
Reach Out. Yeah, all capital.
I should probably know this. This is kind of important because if you give them that the first time you ship with them, not only will they give you a discount on your shipment, but we have a special arrangement set up with them that anybody who signs up an account on theirs, they get our preferred shipper status, and that level of attention and care and everything to their shipments. Yeah. So you get that for life if you sign up your account with that code Reach Out. It's a pretty big deal. And this upcoming episode is going to tell you why. So you'll have to stay tuned. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Well, exciting things all around.
They are. Absolutely.
So that's happening. And then it's coming up to the end of the month, which means we're about to get another newsletter from Joe. Guys, if you haven't heard already, Reach Out Reptiles is now releasing an official newsletter. And that's going to feature 3 different videos, all from G.I. Joe. So, Garrett, do you have anything else to say about the whole newsletter?
I mean, it's pretty cool. I get to watch them because it's Joe puts all this stuff together. So it's exclusive content from around the shop behind the scenes. It doesn't matter if you're a casual viewer, if you're part of our core community over there on Patreon. This is exclusive content to all that kind of stuff. So if you are on Patreon, you get automatic access to that. But you don't have to be on Patreon to do it. You can sign up. Just go to our website, reachourreptiles.com, sign up for the newsletter. It has all kinds of cool updates on breedings, like he said, happenings around the shop, and just fun stuff to keep up on. I enjoy watching them because I'm not very much a part of them. So you get to see Reach Out Reptiles through another set of eyes, so to speak. So it's pretty cool.
We actually do have a little promotion. I put it together real last minute, but it kind of showcases...
You talk about the promotion. I'm going to get a cute baby snake.
Oh, okay. So yeah, right after this promotion, guys, we got a cute baby snake. Let's check out that newsletter promo.
Ladies and gentlemen, flies and gnats, bow-legged mosquitoes, and cross-eyed ants, I come before you today to bring you another customer showcase here in the month of February. Well, everyone, this has been your new news brought to you by Ship Your Reptiles. I'm Joseph Hull. Until next time, Stay informed, stay inspired, and stay classy. Month of February has been a fun one. Few laughs, few tears. Let's show you guys a few things that happened behind the scenes.
All right, so that's just a little bit of insight into that newsletter that's coming out March 1st. Guys, get excited for that. And who do we have here? Look at that.
I was going to say, I'm excited for this. You said that's a little bit of a promotion. This is a little bit of a snake from our friends over at Encompass Exotics. This is pretty cool. I've actually been waiting on this snake. They made it for me.
Yes. Let's get up close. Look at that, guys.
That might be a generous statement, but I like to think of it that way. They had this clutch, and I waited for a baby from it. So this is this is going to be an ambassador animal. It's for our educational programs that we do. And a lot of you guys might remember Hog Wild. She was really fun. It was a snow retic that we got from SoCal Herps. And she was like my son's favorite snake, but she was extremely snarky. Unfortunately, she passed away from a freak accident. This is crazy. She was eating a frozen thawed rodent. And this is a little bit graphic. Cover your ears if you don't want to hear this. I just say it because it kind of goes to show some of the crazy stuff that happens when you live with animals. But the frozen thawed rodent had broken a leg bone. It had like a compound fracture, and the sharp broken bone, as the snake swallowed it, speared into the snake's heart, killing it almost instantly. Wow. It was horrible. My son was there. It was terrible.
Yeah.
He was heartbroken. He's 5 years old, and was at the time.
That's tough. Man.
So anyway, they felt bad, and they always wanted to get us a hognose snake, kind of, so that we would still have one for the programs. So we've got this. I'm not a hognose breeder, and so it seems ridiculous to me that snakes come this size. I thought my house snakes are small. They're probably smaller than this, but this thing's like chunky and short, super cute. Really fun. So we're gonna have to figure out a name from this snake, right, Jeremy?
Yeah.
And we're gonna do that right here with you guys, and then hundreds, maybe thousands of kids will meet and get to know the snake that you named if you hang around to the end of the show tonight.
Very exciting.
Something really fun about it. Well, I'll tell you more about her at the end.
Sure.
She did eat a pinky mouse today. Look at that. Can you see that, Jeremy? Is that working?
Yeah, wait.
Look at that.
Yeah, that little lump. Look at that.
Look at that. Tiny, chunky. I mean, there's not much that's cuter than a baby hognose.
Yeah.
They're like ridiculously cute.
Excellent. And then we had one more announcement, guys. I don't know if you want to talk about this, but we had a Karampa clutch lay.
Oh, today. This morning. Yeah, that was pretty fun. Yes. So you guys saw, we had a lot of fun with Nina's clutch. She was a really small retic. She's pure Superdorf. And she broke our record for the smallest snake ever to lay eggs. Even though there's a bit of a caveat to that record because her eggs weren't good, right? Mm-hmm. She was a very young, 3-year-old. We really only put a male in there because I knew that she was developing these eggs, and they're proportionately like really big eggs for the sizes of these tiny snakes. So I was worried that if they were infertile, they have a greater tendency of like clumping up and making that snake egg bound. Whereas if they're at least partially fertile, they slide out a lot more easily. So she was 875 grams when she laid, even though the eggs weren't good. The smallest that we had previously, somebody in this chat knows, they're going to correct me on the number. I think it was 1,326 grams, I believe.
That sounds, I think that is it, actually. That's impressive.
That was our previous smallest, and that was with a female that laid a good clutch.
Yeah.
To give you guys a for instance, like a comparison, I think like your typical ball python breeder is 2,000 to 3,000 grams. And ball pythons get up to like Buddy has a 6,500 pound or 6,500 gram ball python female that lays. So that's like a max size for them. This female was 1,300 grams. Well, today we beat that. So one of our very first captive produced Karampas laid eggs. Now she is this is kind of the first year that we expected her to breed, or really did try to breed her. She's 4 years old, and she laid and shattered all previous records at not Nina's, but for good eggs from a pure female. And I'm telling you, this 1,300 gram range, that was a lot of females. This female weighed 1,040. What is it, Jeremy? I had you write it down.
1,046.
1,046 grams.
Yeah.
And then I was like, she's ridiculously small. And
Yeah.
in case that doesn't mean anything to you, and you're thinking, remember, this is a reticulated python, right?
That's crazy.
So lengthwise, right? If you're thinking that doesn't mean much to me, or maybe she's super skinny, which they always are after they lay eggs, or maybe this or maybe that. I measured her too. She's 5 foot 3 inches long.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
That is
her first
insane.
clutch, and she laid 7 eggs. Did you get? Do you have that clip from this
Yeah,
morning?
I got it up. We can pour it up right now. Let's show you guys
All right, check this out, because
who we're
this is
talking about.
crazy. This tiny female. We got a 5 foot 3 inch female, weighs 1,043 grams, emptied herself out completely, laying this big, beautiful clutch today. Good job, Prima.
Now, guys, like that is not like that's a small snake right there. You know, you saw it right
makes
next
me
to the
so-
hand.
It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
It's not like we did anything to make that snake super small or whatever. Like, that's an F1 from
Yeah.
wild caught adults. So we just collected 2 snakes from this island. We didn't personally collect them, but we gathered them up, bred them together, and produced. And this is, as far as I'm aware, the first ever F2 Karampas. There are people I know breeding those out in Indonesia, and a couple people have had clutches. There was a clutch in South America. There's a clutch in Europe now. So Karampas are finally beginning to get produced, but I think this is the first time anyone has produced a baby, raised it, and produced it. In other words, gotten to the F2 generation. So this is really the first time we've seen a Karampa that was like kind of raised under prime captive conditions, laying eggs. Because who knows what they went through in the wild. Are they like starved out small, or should they have been small and someone fed them up too much or whatever when they brought them in, whatever. Well, we just raised these like we raise any of our super dwarfs.
Yeah.
And 1,043 grams, 5 foot 3 inches long, and laid 7 good eggs.
Yeah.
Good meaning fertile. One was a little windowy, but I'll take it.
Yeah,
That was a
seriously.
fantastic Karampa clutch. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean,
Having fun
right.
without locality. It was even more fun just coming back to that, because I recently got back from a little road trip. If you're on our breeder tier Patreon, you already know this. But my son and I did a pretty big 5-day straight driving, for the most part, road trip across the eastern United States. So we went from Pittsburgh, where we're at, dropped down to the Gulf Coast, scooted across through Louisiana, stopped to get Garrison some frog legs. Eating frog legs was on his bucket list. And then we went to Focus Cubed, saw Stephen and Ashley, picked up a bunch of new enclosures, which are now set up and in use downstairs. We have a little bit of polishing to do. But if you guys, during the after party, after this, for those of you guys that don't know, you can join our Patreon even at the lowest level. And we do like a much more intimate hangout after party. A lot of times we're walking through the shop, seeing all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had those baby Karampas hatch live on these after parties. We've done egg candling, seen breeding action going on. Karma's getting close. But anyway, you can hang out with us if you want to see more of those cages. Then we went up and we visited Chris McVicker and his wife Sarah. They were awesome. Cool animals, pets all through the house. All kinds of awesome stuff. So my son, Garrison, won't be quiet about talking about how cool they are. You know what he told me the other day?
what's up?
He said he'd be okay if me and Mom died, that Mr. and Mrs. McVicker adopted them.
Wow. That is tough.
He's
That's
never met
tough.
them before in his life.
That's
he
crazy.
just went there. They spoiled him, treated him well. We went out to eat, and then they
Jeez.
showed him all his pets, and he's sold. That's all it took.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I have no words for that.
So while we were in the area, because he's in Oklahoma City, we also saw Bob Clark. I've never been to his facility for all the years I've known him. Bob and I have been hanging out, talking at shows. He was over at Prehistoric whenever I used to live back there. So I've known him for a really long time, and there's a lot of historical things that we were both at. So it's kind of cool to shoot the breeze with him at his facility.
Yeah.
Which is
That's awesome.
very cool to see.
Right.
He's changing directions, doing a lot of cool new stuff. So that was pretty neat. Then I shot over to Mike Wilbanks, picked up some of his snazzy new incubators for our house snakes, just because I love my igloo coolers. You guys know that. But it's hard to stack those house snake. I mean, they're smaller than the hog nose when they hatch out, so their eggs are really small. Their little boxes are small. I stack them up like 6 deep in mine. His has all these nice drawers, so should help out organizationally. Saw his place. He's going a lot of new directions with his breeding. Nice. So a lot of cool, interesting stuff. It was really good to keep up with those folks in the industry. And then we stopped over through Indianapolis and saw my friend Don Munson.
Nice.
My favorite.
Very eventful.
As I like to call him, my pig-selling pig. He sells pigs, and he was a sheriff.
That's crazy.
So that's very derogatory.
Oh,
I say
yeah.
with all the love in the world.
Yeah.
We
Wow.
love Don. I just couldn't resist. Like, wait. So your whole career, you were a cop, and now you're retiring to sell pigs. Just can't get
A
away.
little ironic.
Can't get away.
Just a little bit.
So,
But yeah, let's get
for
into
those of you that are cops, thank you very much. Appreciate what you guys do. No disrespect whatsoever. Like I said, I love Don Munson. So it was cool to see him.
Yeah.
Harrison loves him. And then, yeah, we're back and pulling Karamba eggs. It was pretty cool.
All right.
So what do you got for me this week, Jeremy? What are you putting me up to now?
Like I said, we are going to test you. I have 10 of the web's most searched questions, and we're going to see what your answers to those.
Most searched question.
About reticulated pythons. Yes.
Okay,
specific.
that's probably a little bit.
Yeah, not just anything.
I don't know if I want to answer the internet's most searched questions.
Yeah, that would be insane. But yeah, before we get into
I
that,
never know what this guy's going to put me up to live on YouTube.
before we get into that, guys, we also want to hear some questions from you. So while we're going through the most searched, if you guys have a question, go ahead and leave it in the chat. We might get to it. We'll definitely get to it if you leave us a super chat. But
Jeremy
yeah.
will even do a dance. If you're going to put me up
I
this,
didn't know I was doing that.
Jeremy will do a little in his seat super chat dance.
That is
every
crazy.
time someone super chats in. We'll stop the show, watch him dance.
We should have talked about this beforehand, I think.
Hey man, there's a lot we should have talked about before.
You're right.
But
You're right.
Here we go.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, guys, if you have any questions, leave them there. First question. Here we are. Can reticulated pythons be pets?
Can they be pets?
Can they be pets?
Yes, they can be pets. They are unorthodox. I will give you that. But I have kind of made a living on the fact that they can be pets. So
True.
under the right circumstances, sure.
All right. Easy enough, right? See, this isn't going to be too hard. I mean, that was one question done already. You feel fine, right? Not the
I'm
end of the
feeling
world.
okay. Yes, they can be pets.
Second
I feel
question.
qualified to answer that.
Second question. Can reticulated pythons eat humans?
Wow. So this is an interesting question following the last question, because I would say, I mean, if you're strictly being technical, the answer is also yes. Yes, they can be pets, and yes, they can eat you. You know, I would say dogs could also eat you. There are some horrifying stories of cats eating people.
What? Like
Yeah,
lions
cats are
and
just
tigers?
creepy. No.
Like cats.
Yeah, cats.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I told you. Like, hey, man, if you're out there searching the internet. So, yes, there have technically been several people eaten by reticulated pythons in their native range. So, not pets in captivity. That's never happened, despite what you might find the internet saying.
Yeah.
But there have been a couple of cases of people, especially around like the Sulawesi region and some of the outlying islands, where people have been eaten. They're kind of similar areas too. So I wonder if there's like either like a particular prey path that the humans use or something. Or,
Yeah.
you know, the snakes are particularly large, the people are particularly small, whatever the case may be. But yeah.
So yeah,
Technically, they could eat you.
Wow. All right.
Probably not the ones that we sell.
Yeah, definitely not the ones we sell. Oh, okay. We have a super chat. We're gonna stop everything real
Oh
quick.
man, let's see this dance. I've never seen.
I do have to dance. Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
I need some music. You know what I
there
mean?
you go. Hey, I hope your girlfriend's watching tonight.
She is. She definitely is. Wow. Okay. So thank you so much, Elizabeth Fortino. She asked, "Can reticulated pythons dance?" Garrett, what is your answer?
Liz, what a great question. What a great question. I'll say a lot of times I see them doing that vertical extension into something they think they can get, or even the horizontal extension. And right as they get to the end of their limit, they do kind of do that little dance. So I'm going to go with yes.
Wow.
And now we also know that Jeremy, too, can dance. So thank you.
I can
Liz
try my
Fortino.
best. I don't know how good that was. That was crazy.
That's pretty good.
Oh, man. Okay. So, third
you
question
for that.
from
We need
the
some more of
internet.
that.
Yeah, thank you again, Elizabeth. Thank you. Third question from the internet.
Okay.
Can reticulated pythons swim?
Absolutely. They also can dive, submerge, and hold their breath for a surprisingly long time. So it's like one of those ask me how you know situations. But if you decide to take your python out for a swim in a pond and you think you're just going to be following it along in your little rowboat, and getting it some exercise, just know that they can dive, submerge, change directions, and pop up just about anywhere, sometimes an hour or more after they've submerged.
An hour is crazy. I would have never thought of
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I didn't time it, but it sure seemed like about an hour.
Yeah, around there still is insane.
So watch out for that in the murky water. You might not get your snake back as easily as you think.
All right. Fourth question.
Okay.
So this is kind of a group of them, right? It's the three top ones all kind of mean the same thing. But where are reticulated pythons from, found, or native to? I feel like we could answer that.
Yeah.
One.
I think that this is probably one of the things that makes reticulated pythons as a species so exciting. There's a lot more study and work that needs to be done into the diversity among what we currently recognize as like one, species of animal. But generalizing this, they're basically from just south of India, all through Southeast Asian mainland, the peppered islands of Indonesia, and almost all the way into Australia. So everything kind of in between India to Australia is the stomping grounds of reticulated pythons. And that's a pretty big deal because there are large, very swift, fast-moving oceans in that area.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy. They are amazing colonizers.
All right. That takes care of that question.
Keep 'em
I
coming.
suppose.
Let's go.
Suppose. Fifth one. Where are reticulated pythons illegal?
Oh, geez. I don't know if I can answer that one in its entirety.
Any key places that you can think of off the bat?
Yeah, so New York made them illegal because New York likes to make everything illegal. So there's a state law there. Florida kind of famously recently made them illegal. By the way, shout out to USARK. If you guys don't know what that is, go just follow them on YouTube. USARK, United States Amphibian Reptile Keepers. They'll keep you up to date on, all the pet keeping rights that the government and special interests are trying to take away. So Florida, there was a big stink about that. I think Iowa recently went ahead and wrote that in. And then if you are going to keep snakes, you have to actually watch. There's certain townships around here. Apparently Ross Township, you probably don't know where that is, but that's where I go shopping at the mall.
And they don't allow it?
They don't allow them there. You can have venomous snakes there, but not pythons because they're constrictors. So the law was written like this. This is ridiculous. But all constricting snakes are illegal. So for those of you that don't know, I'm sure they meant to say giant pythons and boas, probably because someone on the township was scared of them or something. But for those of you who don't know, most snakes, 99.99% of them, fall into one of two groups, venomous or constricting, and it has to do with how they catch their prey. So things like the African house snake that hatch out as small as our little hognose friend over there
Yeah.
are constrictors. So those are illegal, but cobras and mambas and things are not.
Gotcha.
So you just have to check your local store.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Next one. So I put these two together, but honestly, these are two different questions. Are reticulated pythons first venomous, and then are they dangerous?
Venomous, no, not at all. That's silly, and no, they can't crossbreed with venomous species and
Yeah.
terrifying things.
That would be insane to think
I've
about.
seen so much outrageous things over the years that it's not surprising that people say outrageous things. It's surprising that other people believe them.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't do that. They are not and will never be venomous. Are they dangerous? I think that they are potentially dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to pull wool over people's eyes and be like, everything's great, stuff like that. But if you have like a large, especially like a large or mainland reticulated python, you need to put certain protocols and stuff in place to keep that animal responsibly.
Yeah.
I also don't take things like dogs for granted, honestly. Like, if you have a large, dangerous dog, you need to be on top of that. You know, and if you're not going to be a good pet keeper. So, the same thing. Potentially they could be dangerous. You need to recognize when and how that could happen and make sure that the animal and all the people that are exposed to the animal because of you as a keeper are safe.
Yeah. Good answer. I like that. I like that a lot. So, yeah, not pulling the wool over anyone's eyes. Very honest about it. Number 7. Kind of covered it already. Are reticulated pythons good pets? We said, yeah, they could be. So we'll move on to number 8. Are reticulated pythons bigger than anacondas?
That's kind of a splitting hair thing.
Yeah.
So the traditional answer is reticulated pythons are longer and anacondas are heavier, right?
Right.
But I don't think that that's, like, if you're talking about extreme documented examples, I don't think that that's true. I think both the longest snake and the heaviest snake recorded that are, like, generally considered trustworthy recordings were both reticulated pythons.
Gotcha.
Anacondas get very big, and I think that, you know, in the wild, probably the top 1% of anacondas are heavier than the top 1% of reticulated pythons. But, yeah, they're both monsters, both giants. I will say, I have a green anaconda. You know her. Her name's Lacey.
Right.
I'm shocked how different. This is the first anaconda, not that I've owned, but that I've raised from a newborn. They grow 13, 14 feet long and much heavier than she is as well. But she's only about as big around as a tennis ball, and she's like 6 feet, maybe.
I mean, she looks kind of like a bigger ball python, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
she's chunky. She got a little head, all that stuff.
Sure.
We feed her well, but they're so slow growing.
Yeah.
So they're known to be kind of more like tortoise-like, where they're like
Stop
very
everything.
slow.
Elizabeth Fortino, another super
Here
chat.
it comes.
I gotta do another dance.
This is my favorite part of the
Let me
show.
put on my camera.
Hold on. I want to watch.
You're getting the main Jeremy cam for this one. I'm gonna do the same thing. Ooh, a little bit of that, yeah. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
A little bit of that.
Here
we
is.
Need a little bit of that.
Hey, we need a little bit of that. But thank you so much, Elizabeth. If a retic and Jeremy got into a dance battle, who would win? Thank you.
I mean, being like I said earlier, like it's a bit of a push to say that retics can even dance. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's the retic.
Wow. All right. That is
sorry,
brutal
Jeremy.
to hear.
I mean, listen, maybe we can get you some pointers. Joe does a very good job of that off the cuff, pull a dance move live on YouTube.
Yeah,
Maybe
I feel like he would be. He's a good guy for that.
Get a few pointers from them. You know, talk to your grandma. She likes dancing.
Oh yeah, she'll get down
Diana.
sometimes. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
All
we can get you in ship shape. You might want to. We might have to set up a video call between you and Rob. He's kind of the one that started the whole super chat dance thing.
Think you have some good moves? Yeah. All right. Well, thank you again, Elizabeth.
That was great.
That was not the answer I was looking for personally, but it's the answer we got. All right.
Good times. Thanks, Liz.
Let's get back to the web's most searched. Number 9 on the web's most
Hey,
searched.
well, I'm just gonna say the next super chat dance, you're gonna have to definitely turn it up a notch, okay?
Okay, I'll get out of my seat next super chat dance.
Next one, he's getting out of seat. You guys hear to hear first. All right.
So-
Next web question. Let's hear it.
How do reticulated pythons kill and then kill their prey? That's another group one right
Yep.
there.
Okay, so they constrict,
Right.
and there's a number of things that happen to cause it to die.
Yes.
Here's kind of a fun one. Everyone always thinks that constrictors suffocate their prey. You know, I've even heard so much as to say, they say, like, as a prey item breathes out, they tighten down more so they can't breathe in.
Yeah.
But that's not actually what they've found is typically the cause of death. Most of them are so strong that they crush their prey, they squeeze them so tight, it causes a massive spike in blood pressure. And that creates a whole host of issues within the prey.
Stop everything, guys.
Here it is.
Sky's the limit. $2. Thank you for that super chat.
Who was the super chat?
Sky's the limit exotics.
Oh, man. Bringing it. Okay.
All right.
Here it goes.
SD breeding question. Not enough room on this chat.
Okay.
So we are going to read it. What's the best way to tell when an SD cross is ready to breed? I'm going to have you and me on. I'll dance through this question. Go ahead.
Okay, you're going to dance through the answer.
I'm going
the whole
through
time.
it. Go, start.
All right, this is perfect. Okay, so it's a cross. I assume you're saying, like, I'm not quite sure how big it's going to get or anything like that. We were talking about our smallest females. I never expected those females to be ready to breed. So I don't think it's as much a matter of size. Personally, we don't feed to impact their size at all. I don't think that's a really, like, ethical way to keep snakes. How you doing?
I'm running out of moves.
Okay, I'm wrapping up here. So really, it's up to your female when she begins to produce follicles. You either need to be able to find those follicles by palpating them, get an ultrasound machine, or the old school way we used to do is just wait until they refuse food and throw a male in there. So you kind of just leave it up to the female. Good job. Yeah, I'm done.
Thank you again. Sky's the limit exotics.
Thank you for that.
How about Garrett does the next dance? That was a
I
good.
don't know. I'm the boss.
It's true. Dang
That'd
it.
be you. If you want, you're gonna have to get the studio audience if you want more dancers.
Yeah, you're right. Well, thank you again, Sky's the limit.
I used to do that for years. I've retired my super chat dance.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right.
You gotta set like a $1,000 and over limit.
That's on the. That's
I never
immortalized
have
on
to
the
dance
internet.
again.
That what I just did is immortalized on the internet. That's crazy. All right. Last question I had. Top search question. How do reticulated pythons mate? Garrett, what is your answer?
Ooh, I wish I knew. No, just kidding. So we have witnessed some mating of reticulated pythons. We talk about it a lot in the after party. But they actually have an opening, kind of a one hole does everything opening. So not like humans, more like a chicken. Chickens, I don't know if you know this, they poop, they pee, they lay their eggs all through the same hole. It's called a cloaca. And so the females have a spot inside where it's like an inverted tube. So there's hollow area inside there. And the males have matching, they're called hemipenes, male reproductive organs that turn inside out. When they're excited, go into the female, and they become engorged. And they actually, we call it locking up. They intertwine their tails all the way down towards almost the end of their tail, but not the very end. And you get a little crisscross action. Lasts usually 20 minutes to several hours, and that's it. They may do that once, and she could lay a clutch, or they could do it many times. And then about 6 to 8 weeks after that happens, the female is usually laying a clutch of eggs.
All right. That is all I had. I'm going to get into maybe one or two questions from the chat.
Now, I know that we have our Discord has been popping off.
Oh, that's
too,
true.
with some
That's
questions.
true. We should bring that up real quick.
Yeah. Do you have it on your phone?
On my phone, I mean, I got to get the reach out one, like the real one.
Text, your
but-
text messages.
Yeah.
Our Discord is available to all the Patreons as well. If you guys want to jump in there, it's pretty fun.
Oh, yeah. It's a good time.
Joe is in there constantly now.
Yeah.
He has it up on his computer.
It's like a
all
second
day
home
long.
for him.
Yes. I'm still trying to figure out how to log in.
That's awesome. Oh, man.
Did you find it?
No.
Okay.
Let me, I think.
You're supposed to be the tech guy.
Yeah, I was. What am I
Log in.
doing right now?
I texted it to you. Let's see here. All right, here we go. What size rat should I feed?
Oh, yeah. I did get that.
So I
My
think
bad.
you want to feed something that is about as big around as the girth of the snake. Maybe slightly bigger, but not significantly. And so depending on the size of your snake, you just want to kind of gauge that throughout their life. Let's see. Do I need UVB? Ooh, controversial one. Watch out, everybody. The truth is, several generations of snakes have been raised without UVB, but there are tests that have been done more recently showing that there is a measurable and definitive positive impact on the animals and their behavior if they have access to UVB. However, I do not think it's good if you put UVB in a cage. You should probably, this is my opinion on reticulated pythons, allow for the animal to get out of it when it needs to. Don't burn it and stuff like that. Also be careful if you have something like T-negative albinos that might be more light sensitive with their eyes. Give them the option to get out of the sun because they're most of the time not going to be out in the sun in the wild. So giving them some partial access to it, definitely a good thing. Do they need it? I'm probably not even going to answer that one. That's probably above my pay grade. What heat source should I use for my enclosure? Basically anything that gets the large enough basking area to temperature, right? So if your snake is all coiled up, you want that whole area to get to a nice warm, like the animal should be able to get itself up to 88 degrees minimum. And then the other side of the cage should be cool. Mid-70s is perfect. Is this a mite? Followed by a picture. And how do I treat it? Not every little black speck you find on your snake is a mite. A good way to check for the presence of mite is to give your snake a soak, just a little bit of water for about 20 minutes, not so much that the snake has to swim. And you can put a few drops of Dawn dish soap in there. It's a detergent, breaks hydrogen bonding. The water wicks into the animal's scales through capillary action, and then it will drown the mites, and some of them will come off, and you'll see the little black specks of mites underneath. You can also check around the eyes, under the chin, along the belly scales, for little scales that are pushed up with little black dots underneath. Those are mites. How do you treat it? That's a bigger question, but we have videos for that, several. So you can go ahead and watch that. I recommend picking up a product called Proventamite. Whatever you use, follow the directions. What is a quarantine procedure? How long and what to look for? Ooh, that's a very complicated question. It depends on what you're doing. If you're quarantining because you want to make sure that they eat and poop and you want to get fecal samples from your vet, then kind of once those samples are processed, you're ready. If you're looking for external parasites such as mites, then, you know, I put them through a treatment of like a once a week treatment, 3 weeks in a row. Make sure that we, you know, make sure there are no mites.
Hey, Garrett, I'm going to ask you to stop talking real quick because we have another super chat. It's time for the hit the like button dance. Garrett, would you do this dance with me, please?
What is this?
She just wants us to dance right now. No question at all.
Hit the like button dance.
Yeah. What is your best? I'm going to go ahead and do my favorite. I did it last time.
This is me hitting the like button.
Oh, I gotta. I haven't done the sprinkler yet.
Oh, I'm clicking subscribe and hitting the notification bell. I don't know what the notification bell thing looks like because
Looks like
I don't know how to do
a ding.
that. I know how it looks, but what's it for? I'm a
Yeah.
terrible YouTuber. I've just heard other ones say hit the notification bell. I don't know.
Well, thank you again, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Appreciate
man.
that.
Why did you make me dance? It was supposed to be like $1,000 and above. I'm so easily compromised.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. All right, so you got some for the chat. Let's hear from the people. What do they want to know?
Yes.
For a
Okay.
couple minutes and then we're out.
All right. We got two big
We're
ones.
over time. This is like pretty much our after party.
This is pretty much our after party, guys. Do you want the after party?
Get ready for the after party. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna go take a look at that tiny female.
All right.
other things.
From Wayne Abites.
What's up, Wayne?
What's a good snake that stays relatively small? My wife doesn't really want them, but I do.
Those hognose would be kind of fun. There's some caveats to that. Good snake, for me, it's a lot of like where you live. So the closer you can get a snake that matches your natural environment that is a popularly pet species, that's probably the way to go. So like North America, I'm going to go with like a rat snake or a king snake or a milk snake. The reason why I say from your area is because the best way to mess up your pet reptile is not get their temperature correct, and they're going to be hardy to the temperatures you're from. So you're still going to have to do some work, but yeah, and animals like that do stay relatively small. There's, we're in northern hemisphere here in the U.S. I really like African house snakes, especially the Cape African house snakes. They're from kind of the same distance away from the equator on the flip side, and they are a little chonkier, so they're very much like a rat snake. They grow up being a little more like a python, but they're like half the length. Sometimes, a third, fourth less the length. Like males are remarkably small. They come all kinds of cool colors. So African house snakes would be a good choice too. But there's a plethora of others. It kind of depends on your opinion. But I'd go with easy care requirements for the area that you live in to be the most successful.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. I think that's the only one.
We ready to name a snake?
I think we're ready to name a snake.
Okay.
Let's take it out.
So this is what's kind of fun about this baby snake.
Ooh, okay. While we're doing that, I'll ask one more question. Just came in.
Okay.
If I decide to breed, what option should I consider for a partner given the genetics of my new snake? With a dwarf phantom sun tiger.
Dwarf phantom sunflower.
Yeah, what would look
tiger.
good with that? I guess.
That is a really cool combo. I mean, I'm really in the, pushing breeding in the direction of like ever smaller bloodlines so that people can more reasonably keep those. So either you have a lot of cool morphs in there. You could either go with a high percentage super dwarf and increase those bloodlines. I don't know if there's any recessives in there like Possidantary or something. That would be really cool to bring in. And then I think tiger fits that blend of mutations very well also. So, of course, you could try to get an orange ghost stripe or head orange ghost stripe. Those make cow reticulated pythons. If you're unfamiliar with that, Google it. Thank me later. They're very cool. But super dwarf head orange ghost stripes are still relatively quite expensive. So that would be another really cool way to go for that combo.
Yeah. All right.
right.
So, guys, you know the deal. Take a good long look at this. This is a girl, right? Female?
It's a female. She's a hognose snake. Now, she has some interesting history. There is a snake that, if you guys watch Snake Discovery, you might be familiar with. They obviously love hognose snakes over there. And they have a snake named Heart Boy. And that is this snake's dad. So this is pretty cool. Like I said, we were able to pick her up from Encompass Exotics, who saved her and brought her over for us. But she's like, I wanted you to know this is Heart Boy's baby. So that was pretty cool. I don't know if that needs to incorporate into the name, kind of a surname type of a deal or something. But let's see what we can come up with.
All right.
Anybody out there, Snake Discovery fans? Raise your hand in the chat. So if you guys comment your name suggestions in this chat, we will pick a name tonight, and then this little girl forevermore in front of all the children will be referred to by the name that you suggested. And I'm going to choose one anonymously as Jeremy reads them off. You ready, Jeremy?
I think, yeah, we got a good start right here. Okay. I'll start reading them off. We have
Shout them in quick.
We have a Miss Piggy. I think we already have a Miss Piggy, though.
We do have a Miss Piggy.
We have a Sarsaparilla, which we can nickname Sassy.
That is really cute.
Valentine, okay. Heartache, Macarena, Officer Bacon, Shakira, Hamburger, Pork Sausage, Heartbreaker, Shovel, Hogwarts, Susie.
That sounds a lot like Susie.
It does sound like Susie, doesn't it?
Okay.
Piglet, Cupid, the Queen of Hearts, Mosley, Groundhog, Vermani.
Hadley is she's in love with the snake, and I can tell already, whatever name I pick, she's gonna be mad at me.
Yeah. We some last minute we got Sweetie Pie and Laura Trump.
All right, run through the first few for me.
Sure thing. I'll just go down the line again. We had a Miss Piggy. I think we're not gonna go with that one though, sadly. Sarsaparilla, nicknamed Sassy, Valentine, Heartache, Macarena, Officer Bacon, Shakira, Hamburger, Pork Sausage, Heartbreaker, Shovel, Hogwarts, Susie, Piglet, Cupid, the Queen of Hearts, Mosley, Groundhog, Vermani, Sweetie Pie, and Laura Trump. Oh, and Snooty. Last minute one.
There's a lot of cute names in there.
Yeah. There's some good ones. I like them. That's a good pick. It's a lot of variety there.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking the one that is gonna resonate with the kids, and because hognose snakes are always so stinking small and so cute,
Okay.
I think we're gonna go with Piglet.
Piglet.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that what you thought I was gonna pick?
I didn't think you were, honestly, but congratulations to John Banks for
All
picking that
right,
name,
John,
Piglet.
What's up, Piglet, the new hognose snake. I also really did like Officer Bacon.
Officer Bacon is good.
That was pretty cool.
Kids would like that one too, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of good heart names there, but for some reason, Piglet makes me feel like Hadley will be less mad at me.
Yeah. Piglet's a cute name. That is a good one. I love it.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us, for making Jeremy dance hilariously. That was awesome.
Yeah, hey.
I look forward to seeing a lot of you guys at Tinley. If you're going to go in a couple of weeks, that's going to be pretty sweet. Look forward to some of these upcoming episodes. I think they'll be pretty fun. And if you guys are on Patreon, we will see you right after this on the After Party Hangout. If you're not on Patreon and you want to be, join on the link below.
Yes, sir. All right. We will see you guys at the after party. Take care.
Catch you next time.